Hi friends, welcome to 24.3 Smart Vision. Today we are going to discuss about fuses and types of fuses. It's a very important topic in electrical engineering. It's a very important interview questions mainly asked during interview for electrical engineers. So please listen carefully. It covers all the topics which includes fuses, that is different types of fuse, what is a fuse and why it is used and how it is selected, that is the fuse ratings are selected and explain all types of fuses and you will get a very good idea after this class. Okay, let's start. Fuses and types of fuses. What do you mean by a fuse in an electric circuit? This is a very important question which you can expect in most of electrical engineer interviews. Answer is, a fuse is an electrical safety device that operates to provide overcurrent protection of an electrical circuit. Its essential component is a metal wire or strip that melts when too much current flows through it, thereby interrupting the current. So, what's your answer? A fuse is an electrical safety device which is used to protect the electrical circuit or your home appliances from overcurrent. Okay? Next, the working principle of fuse. Do you know the working principle of fuse? Yeah. The working principle of fuse is heating effect of current. Okay. Next is, why do we require fuse? Sometimes the interviewer can ask like this, why do we require fuse? Yeah, the answer is, these are used to prevent the home appliances from the high current or overload damage. If we use a fuse in the homes, the electrical faults cannot happen in the wiring and it does not damage the appliances from the fire of wire burning. Okay, so what's the answer is, it just prevent the home appliances from overload or your high current damage. Okay, next, which are the material used for fuse? The material used for fuse elements must be of low melting point. Of course, it should have a low melting point, low ohmic loss and high conductivity or low resistivity, low cost and free from detraction. The material which is used for making fuse element has a low melting point, that is tin, lead or zinc. Most of them know which is the material used for fuse, that is material used for wire inside the fuse link, that is tin or lead or zinc, which is having very low melting point and having very low resistivity and have high conductivity. Okay, how do we select a fuse? Fuse ratings in ampere. It's a formula. Ampere A is equal to power in watts by voltage in volts into 1.25. Here 1.25 is 25% of safety factor is taken for calculating the fuse rating. In India, some of industries were using 1.5 instead of 1.25. Both are correct. It depends upon the load which we are using. If suppose that load will create a much overcurrent or fault current, we have to protect the fuse itself, right? So we want to use 1.5 in some industrial applications. So sometimes they will use 50% of safety factor. But the standard format is 1.25. Okay. These are the different symbols of fuse which can find in some electrical drawings. Okay, symbols. These are the symbols which is used for single line diagram drawings. Okay. And different types of fuses. There are two types, AC type fuses and DC type fuses. Different types of fuses. The block shows the different types of fuses. Fuses are of two types. First one is DC fuses, AC fuses. There is no division under DC fuses. The AC fuses are again divided into two, that is high voltage fuses and low voltage fuses. Okay, and the high voltage fuse is again divided into cartridge type HV HRC fuse, liquid type HV HRC fuse, expulsion type HV HRC fuse, and rewirable type fuses, which is a low voltage fuses, and low voltage fuses are classified into cartridge type fuses, dropout fuses, striker fuse, and switch fuse. Now this low voltage cartridge type fuses are again divided into D type cartridge fuses, link type fuses, cartridge fuse, and again this link type cartridge fuse is two types, that is bolted type and knife blade type. Okay, let's go to more explanations. DC fuses. In a DC system, when the metallic wire melts because of the heat generated by the overcurrent, then arc is produced, and it is very difficult to extend this arc because of DC constant value. To conquer this, electrodes located at distance. Okay, in order to, because of this arc is produced, it is very difficult to quench this arc. So to conquer this, electrodes located at better distance, that is, it should be kept with a safe distance. For this reason, the size of DC fuse is larger or amplified. Okay, this is the main reason why the DC fuse are much bigger in size than AC fuses. Okay, once more, in a DC system, when the metallic wire melts because of heat generated by the overcurrent, that usually happens, right? In order to prevent from this overcurrent, we are using the fuses. But in a DC system, the arc produced is very high. Okay, and it is very difficult to extend this arc because of DC constant value. DC is a constant source, not like AC source. AC can be a high value and much lower value, and it will reach zero also, right? But DC, for a DC, once we are applying for 24 volt DC or 250 volt DC, whatever the voltage is constant. So it's very difficult to extend this arc. In order to prevent this, we are using the electrodes which are keeping with a safer distance. So the size of DC fuse gets amplified, or it's much bigger compared to AC. This is one of the example of a DC, one DC fuse like this one. Okay, next, AC fuses. AC fuses are little bit smaller in size as compared to DC fuses and oscillated 50 to 60 times in each and every second from least to highest. As a result, there is no scope for arc generation between the dissolved wires. For this reason, they can be crammed in small size. Okay, AC fuses are smaller in size as compared to DC fuse. And oscillated 50 to 60 times in each. We know that AC source is oscillating the frequency as per the frequency. The oscillated 50 to 60 times, that is 50 hertz or 60 hertz. Okay, cycles, 50 cycles or 60 cycles in every second from least to highest. So we can use a bit smaller size AC fuses. Okay. Next, LV or low voltage fuses. Low voltage fuses are divided into 5 types such as rewirable, cartridge, dropout, striker and switch fuses. Okay. Rewirable fuses. The most famous KitKat fuse, also known as rewirable fuse, mostly used in industries and home electrical wiring for small current application in low voltage system. Rewirable fuses are low voltage fuses which are almost used for wiring in the house and small scale industries and are fabricated with porcelain. The material used is porcelain. Okay. The fuse has two essential parts such as fuse base, which has two terminals, and another part of this fuse is fuse carrier, which grips the fuse element. This element is fabricated with aluminum, tinned copper and lead. The main advantages of fuse carrier is we can simply plug and remove from the base of the fuse without the risk of shock. Okay, it's a KitKat fuse. It's like this. Most of you know that from your home itself you can find such types of rewirable fuse, right? Next is cartridge type fuses. Cartridge type fuses are used to protect electrical appliances such as motor, air conditions, refrigerator, pump, etc., where high voltage rating and currents required. They are available up to 600 amps and 600 volt AC and widely used in industries, commercial as well as home distribution panels. Cartridge types of fuses has entirely closed containers and the metal contact as well. They are again classified into two types, D-type and link-type fuses. Two types of cartridges, D-type and link-type, and they are used in motors, air conditions, refrigerators, pump, etc. Okay, and they are available range from 600 amps to 600 volt AC. Okay, 600 amps and 600 volt AC up to 600 amps. Example is this one. This one is a cartridge type fuse. Okay, one is D type and one is a link type. Okay, this is link. D type cartridge fuses. This type of fuse is composed with the cartridge, base of the fuse, adapter ring and cap. The base of the fuse includes a fuse cap which is packed with the fuse ingredient by cartridge using an adapter ring. This is a D-type cartridge fuse. Okay. It's having a base of fuse adapter ring and a cap. Okay. Link type fuse. The link type fuse is also known as high rupturing capacity HRC or BS type fuse. The arc which is generated by the fuse blown is controlled is fabricated with porcelain, ceramic and silver. The container of the fuse element is packed with silica sand. This type of fuse is again categorized into two parts such as blade type and bolted type. It is fabricated with porcelain, ceramic and silver. It's also known as high rupturing capacity fuse or HRC fuse or BS type fuse. Okay. And what is blade type and bolted type fuse, right? Blade type fuse. This type of fuse can be simply changeable in the electric circuit exclusive of any load. Okay. This is the blade type fuse. Simply changeable fuse. It's so many colors are available: blue, yellow, red. Different types of blade type fuses are available. Okay. And next is bolted type fuse. In bolted type fuse, plates of this fuse are set to the base of the fuse. This is a bolted type fuse. Okay, bolted type fuse. The shown is a 630 amps, 3-phase, 80 kA, 50 Hz fuse. It's a okay. Next is a striker type fuse. The striker type of fuse is employed for tripping and closing the electrical circuit. These fuses are having plenty of force as well as displacement. All these fuses are used in different industrial application, depends upon the load which we are using. Okay. And the material which is used, which is best material, or some fuses having at least standard materials are used. This is a striker type fuse. Okay. This fuse is having plenty of force as well as displacement. Okay. It's used for tripping and closing the electric circuit. Okay. Next, switch type fuse. Basically, the switch type fuse is enclosed with a metal switch and also a fuse. These fuses are mainly used in low and intermediate voltage levels. Switch type fuse. Okay, that is house in our house. We can see that there is a switch type fuse which we are using, right? Near to the plug there is a fuse. Fuse also we are using, that is switch type fuse. In house light, in order to protect the lighting load and such types of small loads, we are using switch type fuse. Okay. One is this one, and this is one of the example for switch type fuse. And one more switch type fuse is you can see from your home switchboards, you can find it. Okay. High voltage fuses. HV fuses are used to protect the transformer, like instrument transformers, small power transformers, and also used in power system. These fuses are normally charged for voltages over 1500 volt to 138,000 volt. Okay. This is high voltage fuse. It's a big one like this we are using. We can find it in poles or structures, transformer structures, substations. We can find these types. Okay, there are two colors. One is sand color and next is white color. You can find it. Okay. Next is cartridge type HRC fuse. Fuse component of HRC is cut in the helix form which evades the effect of corona at the upper voltages. This is cartridge type HRC fuse, which can find in substations. Okay. Liquid type HRC fuse. This is also a high voltage fuse. This type of fuse is packed with carbon tetrachloride and also preserved at both stops of the caps. Once the error occurs when the flowing current surpasses away from the allowable limit and the elements of the fuse is blown out. They may be used to protect the transformer as well as the support protection to the breaker circuit. This liquid type HRC fuse is a high voltage fuse. Okay, sorry. This is an example for liquid type HRC fuse. Okay. Next, expulsion type HV fuse. These types of fuses are extensively used to protect the feeders as well as transformer due to they are low priced. It is designed for 11 kV. Also, their cracking capacity is up to 250 MVA. This type of fuse includes an unfilled open finished cylinder designed with synthetic resin bolted paper. This is an example. You can find such type of fuse in the structures, 4-pole structures, and in during transmission distribution structures. You can find in transmission purpose they are using this type of, in substation, mostly in small substation as well as in big substation. You can find such type of expulsion type HV fuse, mainly in 11 kV. For 11 kV design, we are using this type of fuses we are using. Okay. Resettable fuses. Resettable fuse is a device which can be used as multiple times without replacing it. They open the circuit when an overcurrent event occurs, and after some specific time they connect the circuit again. This is a resettable fuse. Okay. Next, thermal fuses. Thermal fuses is one time used only fuse. They are temperature sensitive fuse and the fuse element is made of temperature sensitive alloy. They are also known as thermal cutout or TCO, thermal links. The fuses should be like this. This is a thermal fuse. Okay. Okay friends, the topics are now finished. Thank you very much for listening the class. And if you have any doubt about this, you can ask or you can comment or you can mail. Please do subscribe for my channel for more interesting videos. And thank you.